Hi, everybody. You're listening to the Hisessions Hawai podcast, where we talk about everything local and beyond. I'm Johnny Masato, your host, and joining me today, Kyle Shimabukuro. How's it? Devon Nekoba.
Go Hawks!
I was going to say, who just had his
Super Bowl, baby!
Super Bowl shirt on. Very proud winner. I'm happy for you, man.
I'm very happy for my team. I'm very happy for my city. I'm very happy for me.
Your city.
Yeah. You claim the city. You can't just claim the team. That's not how that works.
All right.
Kyle doesn't have any team he roots for, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well,
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls. Go Bulls.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right. Before we begin, let me remind the listeners of all the ways they can stay in touch with the show. There is Facebook, Instagram, and X, all at Hisessions. You can go to SoundCloud, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts to listen to the podcast. Finally, you can email us at hisessions@yahoo.com. If you'd like to help the show get more music on our channel, please go to patreon.com and donate. There you get more involved with the channel, help determine who and what is filmed. No new patrons, but all the shirts have gone out.
Yay.
good.
Hey, so if you haven't got your shirt yet, then let me know.
And you have to donate at least, what, $5?
At least $5 a
Okay,
month.
at least
yeah.
$5,
Yeah.
please.
And you can do it on a yearly
So
basis.
if they donate now, will they get a shirt?
Yeah, if you donate now, you'll get a shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. $5 for a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But then again,
Well,
$5
it's not actually 5, it's actually 60, but yeah.
Well, but I mean, the shirt itself is like $30.
Yeah.
So really, we don't make a lot of money off the patrons. it's almost a break-even
wash.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
By the way, I
fine.
don't think people can see because of your laptop, but your shirt is very cool, John.
Oh, thank you. It's
So, yeah.
it's a Aloha Revolution
It's
UH
Sugimoro.
shirt. Yeah, Ed's company. Yeah. So I do this thing where I buy a new T-shirt every month now because of the podcast, because I don't want to be seen like wearing the same shirt over and over again. I buy a High Life shirt, buy an Aloha Revolution shirt, then I'll buy like a silly shirt, like I bought Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. So that's
Wow.
kind of my thing.
Thank you for your support.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you keep all these shirts?
I donate them after, when they get older.
Yeah.
And I just kind of,
He gives.
I don't give away. I thought you'd be happy that I don't give away your shirts. The only way my shirts disappear is if my wife goes, "Oh, this is old," and then she tosses them out.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping them.
All right. Kupu Kupu Landscaping, Landscape Architects. You can call Kevin Yokamura, 808-722-8685 for a free estimate, or go to kupukupulandscaping.com. Fort Ruger Market had the Plate A again. I think I'm going to break down and do a Rugerlicious Poke Bowl sometime soon, because it's been, I mean, I love the Plate A, but I've had it, I don't know, 24 weeks in a row at this point.
Did you like your Rugerlicious?
It was delicious, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, our guest had the Rugerlicious.
And that's the problem. John sees somebody else enjoying the Rugerlicious
I
and goes,
know.
"Oh man."
It's hard not to. It's hard not to. Okay. Olelo Online. Visit Kaliko Beamer Trap there at oleloonline.com if you'd like to learn the Hawaiian language and you don't have someone near you. You want to do it online. You can go to oleloonline.com. Okay. Our special guest today is Mr. Ian Wetherell. He's a financial advisor with LPL Financial. And I just met Ian like a month ago.
Yeah, sounds right.
We were at Jay Dolan's. And we just started talking story, and I'm like, we've never had a financial person.
Was he just eating on his own and you walked up to him?
No,
Or
no,
how did this
you
happen?
look like a financial guy.
No, I know. So I went to school with his wife.
Oh,
yeah.
classmates.
So, yeah, we're classmates.
Okay.
So he mentioned that, and so we just started talking, and then LPL Financial came up.
Wait.
Yeah.
How does that come up in conversation?
Was it like a Kaiser
Was
reunion or something?
your classmate there with him, and then?
No. He had come up because I was eating, and he said, "Oh, my wife is your classmate."
Oh,
I
And-
recognize John.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Because otherwise, it sounded really psycho. That
Yeah,
you were
kinda
like, "Hey,
creepy,
that's
right?
my
Yeah.
classmate's husband." Like, you're Ian, right? You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So it was a nice conversation. So I thought, you know what? Let's get him on because I feel like he can talk a little bit about finance. We're getting to the age of our supposed retirement,
We're not getting.
and also we have kids
Yes.
who are going to be want to be financially literate and all that kind of stuff. And so, Ian, you're from the East Coast, though.
Yeah.
How did you end up in the beautiful state of Hawaii?
Oh, a long journey. I grew up in New York and Connecticut. And after living in New York, Boston, and whatnot, I moved to LA in 2007. And
okay.
I used to cover a sales territory institutionally for LA and Hawaii. So it was a small little territory. It was great. And then I'm flying back November of 2007 from Hawaii. Spent the weekend with some friends here. And then I sit on the plane, Hawaiian Airlines, and I picked the seat with no one next to me. It was a 232. I'm like, oh, great, I can just relax. And then this pretty girl shows up and tries to stow her bag. I try to help her with it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I should probably talk to her. And I had 5 hours to convince her to go out with me. Wow. I lived in Hermosa Beach. She lived in Redondo. And we went out the following Wednesday, and bada bing, bada boom.
That's an awesome
New York
story.
guys, man, you don't mess around.
No.
You just
In the history of me flying, I never had that experience where somebody sat next to me and I was like, I can deal with this. Never happened.
Yeah, you always get the really large people sitting next to you. Yeah.
One time I was sandwiched in between them.
Yep.
Bro.
Whole
Wow,
flight.
that's a great, like, my story is like, yeah, we're at college, saw each other,
Capicena.
campus center.
Thought I was okay looking.
Yeah, there's nothing exciting. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
that's-
Like,
Hawaiian
nice-
Airlines actually gave us their
story.
logo to use. We made the wedding invitations look like boarding passes and all that.
No
So
That's-
way.
we really did it up. Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah, it was awesome. 16 years ago.
Was she sitting next to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was on the aisle, which was great because I could cut and block her in.
Yeah. Bathroom? No. You're not.
You're good. You can hold it. Yeah.
You're good. Yeah. We're good.
I have one more story about myself. I want to tell you how
Yeah,
great
exactly.
I am. Yeah.
Do you guys have kids?
Yeah. So we've got an almost 11-year-old boy and 8-year-old daughter.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
nice. Okay.
So yeah, we moved back here a little over a year ago to be closer to grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
They're over in Hawaii Kai, so we're about 2 miles away, which is exactly the right amount of distance. I love them dearly, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
just far enough.
we got you. I understand.
Okay, so you started. So you were already running a financial. I mean, like helping people financially from California and doing Hawaii. So that I was gonna say, like, how do you, moving from New York? That's a big time difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a friend who lives in Seattle.
Yep.
And he is also a financial advisor. And he's like, oh, it's fine because a lot of my clients are in Hawaii and on the West Coast. So, the timelines line up and you're not always face to face with people. A lot of it's on the phone and,
Yeah, I have a number of clients back in New York and Connecticut and Boston, and I just talk to them at 6-7 a.m. here. Makes for an early day, but because it's maybe their lunch or what have you, right? So just do it on Zoom or a phone call, but pretty easy to manage these days. 20 years ago would have been a little harder.
How has the transition been from California? I guess California's not too bad. East Coast is like, that is a big weather difference and all that stuff and cultural difference. But was that easy?
Yeah, it is. Having a number of friends and contacts here made it easier because for me, I'm a people person by nature, right? And so, building my support network here, like I had back in California, and it's been great. People are very welcoming and kind. Logistically, it's easy to manage. We were talking about traffic earlier. Just got to be in tune with the traffic, but as much as we complain about the West Side traffic, it pales to the Bay Area. So, or LA.
True. Yeah,
So it's
that's
all about perspective.
Were you
right?
cold this weekend?
No, I'm in great shape. I love this weather. You
Oh,
know? Yeah.
He still remembers what it's like being in New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is nothing, man.
It was
We're
cold
good.
this weekend, man.
It
I wore
was
long
cold.
pants.
You wore
this
pants
weekend.
at the Super Bowl
Whoa.
party.
Yeah.
I was like, what the?
Yeah, man. I was cold.
Got to write the date down for
I
that.
know.
one.
Yeah.
It's
I wore a
spooky
long
whenever he wears
sleeve
pants.
T-shirt that I haven't worn in like 20 years.
When you see Kyle in pants, that's an
Yeah.
event.
Some serious
Was-
cold weather, man.
When we were in Japan on our trip for Hisessions, yeah, he went walking around with pants. We're like, oh, okay, finally.
Yeah.
We thought he was gonna go because it was snowing. At one point, it snowed while we were on our trip, and he just.
I had to go to Ross and buy pants because I never owned walk around pants before.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But
Well, so you got acclimated to the weather. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, it does, I mean, in the summertime it's hot,
Yeah.
right? And so I have to manage through that. But thankfully we have solar in our house, so it keeps the energy bills at bay. I'll crank the AC a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's fine. I love the environment here. It's always consistent, and my brother back in New York. Yesterday it was 6 degrees. Felt like -12. So you'll never hear me complaining about 62 degrees here.
Yeah.
So you grew up in upstate side or
Yeah,
like New York City side?
New York City would call it upstate.
Yeah.
So like Tarrytown, New York, and then Woodbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
So it's about an hour from Manhattan. But if you're in Manhattan, that may as well be Syracuse, which is where I went to college. But
Right.
that's a little further away.
I think it's because as Hawaii people were going, New York and Connecticut, and wait, those are two different places. How does he do that?
So it's funny. If my friend ever sees this, she'll kill me. But I'll tell you the story anyway. She lives here at Hawaii, and I was like, "Oh, Connecticut." She's like, "Oh, what part of New York is that?" And she thought it was because she only knew it from Sex and the City. All the girls would go shopping in Connecticut, so she assumed it was part of New York. And obviously, it's its own separate thing, small little thing, but
Yeah, I mean, when we had the lava flows and stuff, people were calling from the mainland thinking,
Are you okay?
Are you all right?
Yeah.
It's like a different island, but all good.
It's good. Yeah, we're getting the VOG, which really sucks. But.
Yeah.
So, accent-wise, what did you have to get rid of some of it? Has it been long enough?
yeah, it's been a while. Give me a couple of beers,
If
and
you're talking to
the
your
New
brother
York will come out. Yeah, my little brother's in Philly. My twin brother, I'm an identical twin. Sadly, I'm the good-looking one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if he sees this, he'll agree. So my little brother's in Philly. His has gone down. But if I have a couple beers, it just like my brother-in-law from here, a couple of beers, the pigeon starts flowing a little more.
Right.
My the Bronx starts flowing out a little more for me.
That must be an interesting conversation when the two of you are really
We
drunk.
can't understand each other.
Yeah.
After a while, it's just.
So, where did you end up going to school, college-wise?
Syracuse in upstate New
Syracuse,
York.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I went there. Very grateful. I got a free ride there, which was awesome. So,
Wow.
Yeah. I
And what was your degree in?
economics and psychology. It's funny. I went there to be a neurosurgeon, if you can believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. But as the old Blazing Saddles joke, this is my cutting hand. It was it was not a good fit for me, and so I moved to psychology because I knew some girls in those classes, and But then I didn't really want to be a psychologist or psychiatrist. I took an economics class and fell in love, and I thought coming out of it being a financial advisor, it'd be all economics, but it's equal parts economics and psychology management.
Right, yeah.
So it became more useful. I kind of walked into that, but it's worked out great.
That's interesting.
What's the difference between being a financial advisor in Hawaii versus being a financial advisor in the mainland?
There's not a giant difference. I will say, and I know the state is addressing this, like there's not quite as much financial literacy here overall. And I do a lot of youth work like junior achievement and things like that. Our friend Grant, I did that session with him. He, I think it's a passion project of mine to help people get that literacy. And then I don't know if you saw, they passed a law this fall. They're going to require high school seniors to take financial literacy classes.
That is good.
It's huge. So we don't know. I was just at the Financial Planning Association meeting earlier.
Kind of depends on what they teach, though.
They should at least teach you how to write it.
Because it can't be
Yeah,
sponsored
they
by
have to write a check in.
Yeah, or
that's the part about
balance
it.
a budget,
Yeah.
or what are the
Okay.
consequences of credit card debt, all that.
I did not learn any of that when I was in school.
Yeah,
And
me
I
too.
mean,
Yeah.
my freshman year in college, I got a credit card, and then they charged me for something that I didn't think I was supposed to be charged for. So I just didn't pay it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and then like 4 months later, they're like, "We're sending you to collection." I went, "For what?" And they said, "Well, it's this $30 bill." And I went, "Oh shit!" So I paid it, but then that bad credit thing sat with
Yep.
me for like 3 years,
Oh.
right? And you
Man.
owe, but it was one little thing with but it's their fault, and it didn't really matter.
Are in this school of that education part? Are they going to teach you how to do taxes and stuff too?
I think it's supposed to be pretty base level, just hopefully so. I mean, I spend a lot of my time counseling people. I'm not a tax professional, but I give tax strategy, I would say, to help figure out how to save and minimize taxes and the like. And
Here's your home office.
yeah, exactly. How often do you work from here? All the time.
I'm serious. Like watching The Accountant. Did you watch the movie The Accountant?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That single scene where he's teaching this old couple, like, "Hey, by the way, you do any work in here? Okay, this is how you set it." I went, "Sheesh, they should put that in a class," because he did very simply set out, "Okay, here's how you set yourself up so you don't get eaten up by taxes." It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Okay.
before he started killing people.
Yeah. I don't have the guns. Don't.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Your house doesn't look like a perfectly shined up like a CSI plant.
No, definitely not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he has kids, man. They don't.
Yeah.
Your house is never the same.
Looks like
Your kids.
Minecraft in my house right now.
Did you see that? Well, okay. Sorry, good tangent here.
Yes.
The Accountant 2.
Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah, he didn't like that one, huh?
It
It was okay.
Okay. When 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 I saw accountant, right? So he's this autistic guy
Yeah.
who can think through things. He's very good at strategizing,
Yeah.
and all that made sense and it worked. Now accountant 2, he has a team of autistic people, and now they're all. That's when they lost.
They
me.
lost you. Huh?
Yeah, it's like a super team of.
Why did you get a team of them? That like
They're-
they're trying to help everybody out?
Did you watch the movie? Did you watch the first movie?
No, man. The title
Okay.
alone didn't even want to make me watch it.
It's gonna take us too long to explain.
Okay.
It to you. But
Yeah,
Ben
got
Affleck
it,
is
got it, got it.
Ben Affleck is an autistic guy who's also.
I'll watch
an
it then.
accountant.
Was it good?
It's really
Okay, I'll watch
The
it.
first one was
I'll watch it.
excellent.
First
The
one-
I'll
world,
watch
they,
the first
the
one.
world they created and the way that they created and the backstory and everything, you
Okay.
go, wow. Then they went to Accountant 2 and you went, oh,
Okay, I'll watch that.
Well,
yeah,
this is
it kind of
okay.
went a little bit too far for me.
Well, they had
But-
to do something, so
Yeah.
The side quest thing with the lady, I kind of went, I don't understand why this was here.
Oh, right.
Like there was no real
Yeah.
intersection. I didn't
Yeah,
understand that.
right,
But
right.
anyway, sorry if you didn't watch Accountant 2. It's too late. It's been out for like
It's
a
not
year. or so.
terrible. Like I wouldn't tell you not to watch it, but
It wasn't as good as the first
It didn't
one.
make me
No.
feel like I want to see an Accountant 3.
Yeah, it didn't.
You know?
It didn't deepen the like John Wick, right?
Right,
John
right,
Wick
right.
1, John Wick 2. You got little pieces of more into the order, into all that stuff, and they didn't really do that with Accountant.
Like to me, if they focused more on the Ben Affleck character and went deeper into his,
Yeah.
versus trying to add on a whole bunch of other people, that's all I'm.
I liked
saying.
the interplay with him and John Bernthal as
Yeah,
his
yeah, as
brother.
a brother.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fun, but then
Yeah.
the rest of it was kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, the rest you're like, oh,
All right.
okay,
Didn't
I
work.
guess you guys needed to fill some time in the movie. All right, fine.
Okay, so let me start here because this is a journey that I've been on for 30 years, or I remember being a young person
I
and
remember
having
it too a little bit.
no money. Yeah, no money, and this is pre-internet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, internet exists, but you're not trading stocks on the internet and stuff. And going to a financial advisor, I'm like, hey, I need help. I want to be rich when I get old, And him telling me, oh, I can't really help you until you have at least $100,000 in assets.
Sheesh.
I'm like, oh, okay. Because, you financial advisors get paid based on the amount of assets, and stuff. And so I just thought, like, well, who the hell do these guys work for then? But there's credit unions and there's people with retirement. So there's a lot of people with a lot of money that you can manage their whatever, they're. But if you're starting out, nowadays it's a little different. You have the internet, you have Robinhood and Ameritrade and all these things that you can get on. But what would be, I guess, the first step if I've never invested anything, or I've never even saved any money. I'm finally out of debt, because that's the first thing you should do, no matter what. But I finally out of debt. Now I have some money. What's the first thing that maybe you should think of? Is it just opening a bank account, or is it talking to someone like you, or where would I go from there?
Yeah, no, it's great. I advise people when you're starting out, you get debt free. It's certainly maybe a mortgage, right? Of course, if you can buy a house. We can talk about that later here in Hawaii.
Sure.
But then, credit cards. I mean, I see it all the time. People with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of credit card debt rolling at 26 or 27%. There's no way you can win the game of life if that's your people are always just running in quicksand, right? So try and counsel people to get that down and structure some things differently. Build up a little emergency fund. If you are renting, maybe $5,000 is the right number. If you own a house, 10 to 15, just so in case something happens to your car or your hot water heater, you're not on the back foot, right? And that can be in a high yield savings, something like that. Then from there, apart from your retirement assets through work or what have you, you want to start saving and investing for a longer duration goal. And so it's all about aligning the goals to the investments together to collaborate to create the outcome you want. And
so you help people because I feel like there's the people who have no money, they get support because people want to help them get out of debt, which is great and all that. And then once you have money, there's people that want to help you because that's your job and stuff. It's that middle part per person that's kind of lost because I'm on my way, but I don't really have.
By the way, John, that middle part, it's not like this far. Sorry, and for the people listening to this, John put his arms about shoulder length apart, and I'm thinking, dude, it's not even that far. It's actually more like, and I'm making my fingers like 2 inches apart.
Oh.
That's actually the amount of people that are sort of in that middle area.
You think so?
Nowadays, yeah. The people making a lot of money are way over here, and the people making not very much money are way over here. And those of us who
Well,
are
not
surviving.
it's not about making money. It's not about the income. It's about the assets, having assets,
Saving.
saving,
Yeah.
being able to save.
That's
So
what I
many-
mean. That,
So many people here that I've encountered live paycheck to paycheck. It was true in California too. I mean, I have clients making $500,000 or $600,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck because they have a $4 million house and a country club and all that. It's different lifestyle, but they're still heavily indebted. And you know, I prefer to have a pretty clean slate of debt. We were talking about it. Where mortgage, yes. But any revolving debt, get that down, build an emergency fund, and then you can start investing for different goals. You know, I help people, really known for helping people through the next phase of life. So, great example. I have some clients in Los Angeles that are from here, from New Valley,
Okay.
and they bought their auntie's house. She went into assisted living. So I helped them structure their assets, figure out one works for Amazon, one works for Spotify. How do they sell?
Wow.
What do they sell and how to minimize the tax burden and put the down payment on the house? And now they're renting it out with the goal of moving here in a few years. They're just going to build up a little equity. It's kind of what I did, right? And build that up, rent it out, and then they can renovate it the way they want and move into it in a few years.
Amazon and Spotify, they must be doing pretty good.
More good than bad. I don't know if you
Yeah.
follow Amazon stock. It's had better weeks.
Well, now
Yeah.
that even the job for Amazon is being erased, right?
Yeah, it's all Rosie the robot now in their factories. You know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, okay. So, from your perspective, as far as you meet a girl from Hawaii on a plane,
Yep.
she's living in LA or
Yep.
the California area. You're living in California, and you both go. You know what we should do? Does your wife work in finance as well?
No.
Okay.
She was in media, and now she's a teacher at the elementary school the kids are at.
Oh,
She
wow.
teaches music. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, so where in the calculus in your brain do you go? Yeah, we can move back. We could do this.
It was our 5-year plan took 9 years to execute, and I'm a financial planner, so it doesn't bring me pride to say that. But COVID happened too during that.
Yeah.
But we had bought our house. I was wrong. It was 2017, not 2019. We bought our house in 2017 over Hawaii Kai, and rented it out for a number of years. So
Right.
that way, that
Also, same
rent-
thing that you did with those, like
exactly.
you were saying. right?
I told them that, and so they emulated that, and so
Okay.
that way we could rent it out, build up some equity, and then renovate it, and then we moved into it. So we did all of that from California. Wouldn't recommend that. Managing a renovation from 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And my good friend is a carpenter, and he lives 4 streets over. So he would go and snap pictures and tell them what to fix
Oh, no
along
way.
the way. Yeah, so he used my eyes and ears, which was helpful.
I can see your family wanting to move back home because it makes sense. But for somebody wanting to live here, it doesn't make financial sense at all, right now.
It's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
in Wayne and Rain, my in-laws, they are getting older, late 70s, early 80s. It's getting to the point where their health is starting to fail.
Yeah.
And we're part of what we call the sandwich
Yep,
generation, right?
exactly.
Where I've got my kids, but I've also got my in-laws. And then my mom is flying out from New York in 2 weeks to stay for like a month or so.
Okay.
And trying to build up that muscle for her. This is all new for her, coming a 10.5-hour flight. But
Oh my God.
She's never been here?
she came last year. She came
Okay.
once. We got married at Hawai, and so she came for the wedding. But the wedding was the primary focus. This last year, she came and spent 2 weeks just to see what it's like to be here.
Yeah.
So, but I can see myself caring for all three of them.
May
in
I ask
the near
how
future.
old she is?
She's 77.
Okay.
But starting to fall apart a little bit. All the back and knees and the mobility.
Yeah.
So it's dealing with my children who are at 11 and 8. Actually, it's a pretty good age, except for the Uber functionality of being a parent. But then on the other side, I can see in the next decade they get the next 10 years with their grandma, grandpa before they go to college, and grandma and grandpa have 10 probably good years of health left before it gets to be tough sledding.
Yeah.
So it's an important decision, but it's hard.
Yeah, that sandwich thing is so crazy to deal with. And
Devon has a lot of experience with that.
We lost my dad a couple years ago. My mom is slowing down. My in-laws, my father-in-law's got health stuff. My mother-in-law's got health stuff. And so, you're dancing around from person to person. And at the same time, you're going, okay, I understand the value of investing. I actually lucked into some of the investing that I did because I worked at places where they said, hey, we're going to give you, I don't know what they
Matching
call it.
whatever.
No, that's the thing. When they started it, they went, hey, look, we're doing this. We're giving you this option to save. And I went, sweet. So you put the money in, and then they go, oh, no, we're not like matching it or anything. We're just giving you the opportunity. I went, oh, awesome. And then I got fired, and I went, shit. But then I was young. I was not married. And so I think I had like $2,500 in this thing that had saved up. And not really understanding how it all worked. They said, well, what do you want to do with this money? And I went, I don't know. What can I do with it? And they said, well, they can just invest it. And I went, all right, I don't know what the hell to invest it in. Yeah. And I was an Apple fan, like Colin and I are Apple fans. So
I've heard of it.
So I invested. Yeah, I know. So I invested in Apple right before they split. And then I just went and I let it go. And it's been great. But then your portfolio starts to get super heavy, right, with that stuff. And so you go, okay, now I got to balance it with mutual funds or with whatever. And I had no idea about any of that stuff. I still kind of don't. So my financial advisor, when he calls me, he just goes, you okay? And I go, yep.
Think so.
Just leaving everything the way it is and let's go. But with my kids and with my parents, I don't know at what point you tell them, okay, start just putting the money in. I don't care if if you've got a Roth IRA, just throw stuff into a Roth IRA and just let it go.
Yep.
And put money in, and then see what happens.
I'm a big fan of that. For kids in particular, the only rule for a Roth is you have to have earned income, right? So you start mowing lawns or anything that's documented, a paid job. I have a number of 15, 16-year-olds that have done like internships or worked at an ice cream shop, make $2,000. Great. Funnel that right into a Roth. And then, because that's growing tax-free for the rest of your life. The other one is a 529 plan for college savings. The kind of neat thing now with that is you can start that without any earned income for kids. If they don't use it for college because they get a baseball scholarship or something, then they can convert that at $7,000 per year up to $35,000 into a Roth IRA. So imagine like my daughter who's 8, if she's an artist, I don't know if she'll get a full art scholarship. Hi honey, you're not that good. But if she does that, then she can convert that into a Roth. And if I put $1,000 in there now, it could be worth $10,000 by the time she retires. It's all tax free.
Yeah, that was the part about the 529 I didn't understand. I did the 529 and we threw the money inside, but we forgot about the fact that you're supposed to keep putting money in it.
Right. Yeah, I kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, when our guy talked to us, he goes, okay, you put the money in, and then you'll get this much money at the end. And I'm making very big gesticulations with my hands. But when we got it, at the time when my daughter graduated, we had, about the same amount of money, maybe a little bit more. And I went, wait a second, man, this is going to pay for her college. And so that was the thing. If you ever do 529s, they're excellent for your kids. The nice thing is that it actually goes directly to the school, so you don't have to do anything. Right. The problem is you got to keep putting money in it. Yep. Don't let it sit. Otherwise, it just sits there going, hi.
Oh, and the best one now is if it makes sense in your family structure to have grandma or grandpa own it or auntie or uncle. Because when they look at financial aid now, they changed the law about a year or two ago. Then they look at the assets of the kids, like an UTMA account or whatever, or your assets as a parent. But they don't look at grandma and grandpa's assets. So if grandma and grandpa are the owner, they still have control over it. So you got to be on good terms with them because they can take it away. But if they own it, you can still direct the money to the university, but it doesn't count against them if they're applying for financial aid.
Man, this conversation is really showing me the value of you, of a financial
The value of you.
Well,
okay.
You have value.
I feel validated. Yeah. Can you say that again? It felt great.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Okay. So John has a ways to go before he can look towards retirement, but me and Devon are getting to the point where we can possibly look towards that retirement age.
Be work optional at least? Yeah.
Yeah, optional, right? But I'm wondering if there's a formula that we can calculate to see how much we have to have saved to comfortably retire.
So it's funny, the industry, do you remember the commercials from back in the day? You had guys walking around with a big old nest egg, or I think it was ING had a big orange number you'd walk around with.
Yeah.
You really don't have one number. You have, I call it the buckets of money approach, because when you retire, what do you want to do? Everybody I've ever talked to is like, I want to travel, because that's what everybody has trained us to say. Hopefully you travel before you retire too.
Yeah.
But everyone wants to travel, right? So, okay, so you're going to have a budget for a year, 2, 3 of travel. Great. Let's put $50,000 in that bucket, and that's what you're going to spend on travel for the next few years. Then you're going to have your regular lifestyle. I call it 365 Saturdays a year. You have how are you going to spend your day? That dictates what your budget needs to be. And then what are your obligations, right? Still, I find that so many people retire with a mortgage now, and I prefer to not have a mortgage by the time I'm retired.
That's not going to happen for us.
Okay, yeah. So you want to just factor that into your number, because you're going to have Social Security coming in. Maybe you have a pension or an annuity or something like that, giving you some income stream. And then you're going to have to start withdrawing out of your assets to make up your overall number.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just thinking like raw money in your bank. What would be a comfortable thing to have? Is it $50,000? Is it $1 million?
The rule of thumb is you take your income that you wanted, like say you live on currently 100,000.
Yeah.
You multiply that by 10.
Okay, so you'd need $1 million in the bank.
The withdrawal rule, a safe withdrawal rate, used to be 5%, but with interest rates being low for as long as they have been now, people generally use 4%. So if you have $1 million in the bank, you're taking out $40,000 a year. That's the withdrawal rate that you can survive with all the variations where it won't handicap you. If you take 6 or 7, 6, 7. No. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I think it's dead. I've heard it's dead for my son, but
It's not. My son brings it up all the time.
So if you do that, but you have a negative year, like in 2022, the S&P was down 22 and the bonds are down 15. You're taking out 7%. It's a lot less assets you have recovering in the upswing, right? So 4% is kind of the prudent withdrawal rate. So if you want $80,000 to live on, you need about $2 million.
That sucks.
Sorry.
I guess I'm not retiring.
Not anytime soon. You'll be walking around your house designing stuff.
What's going on with these Trump account things? I don't know what that is.
So right now it's for newborns starting,
newborns,
I think this year. And then they're going to, by the end of this year, have it for younger children. Basically, it's
younger than newborn?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be amazing. First date accounts, right? But no, it'll be for, I think kids under 18 can get it. It'd be like a Roth, but without that earned income component. I want to say it's a $3,000 maximum contribution. The government's going to fund it for the first year for all the newborns to kind of get it going. And then you can contribute to it, and it's deductible and all that. But it's kind of like the education savings accounts from back in the day.
Okay, so it's kind of like it's a government Roth, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you keep track of all this stuff in your head, man? There's just, there's Roth accounts, there's regular IRAs, and they each have their own little rules that come with it.
It's a lot. I mean, and I'll share with you, like the last year, whether you like Trump or don't like Trump, changes on the menu, and from every variable has been topsy-turvy for me. So it's been a lot to keep up with, more than usual. But
even the taxes this year has changed too.
Yeah. I mean, if you make under $500,000 a year, which I am blessed enough to do, then your state and local tax deduction went from $10,000 to $40,000. Right. So we have a 10 or 11% income tax here in Hawaii. California was as high as 14 at some point. But you can take that and take your state taxes you pay and deduct it off your federal return. Last year, it was capped at $10,000. So this next tax return season, we expect to be pretty advantageous for a lot of people because they can get an extra $20,000 or $30,000 of write-downs on their federal taxes. So,
do you think people are anticipating that, or are most people clueless like us?
Most
and
people
they're
are
going to
clueless.
get like, how come I'm not paying as much tax this year?
Yeah, or I get more back, a lot more back. Yeah, you'll get a lot more back when you file. So
I'm just hoping that the people that do our taxes know that.
Their software package should.
Yeah.
It is hard to find a good tax person, both California and here, but they're worth their weight in gold, in my opinion. But they should know that. Yeah. If I know that, I'm pretty sure they do.
And if not, I'm sure you will remind our friend. By the way, we had that guy on the pod and he said this.
Let me forward this video to you real quick.
Exactly. Can we click that? No, just click that part and just send it to her. Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's go do this now. Okay, so for Kyle and Devon, who are, you guys, I wouldn't call you old, but you're not.
Thanks, John.
Dude, I'm a card-carrying AARP member.
I can shop at Ross and get discount on Tuesdays, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I'll see you there. Yeah. I go with my mother-in-law.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't have the 20, 30-year horizon that, people in their 20s or 30s or even early 40s would have, right?
We had this conversation, remember?
Yeah.
Straight.
And so, Kyle currently does not have kids, currently. that he knows of. Devon has a couple of
He has
kids.
kids, I'd be scared.
Yeah. So at this point, what would you kind of recommend? Because they don't have the long term, so they can't just throw it in a mutual fund and forget about it. Is it just trying to save and not lose money?
Yeah, it's an element of it. I mean, this is where, like, I think every client situation is different, but annuities can be a helpful tool because you shift the risk of providing that income from your portfolio to an annuity carrier, and they'll guarantee a certain amount. So depending on your age, it could be 6.5%, 7% income from that asset.
6-7.
6-7. There you go. I should just keep working that in all day. I know. But so, I wouldn't do it because the fees are high. I wouldn't do it for a giant portion of the portfolio, but it's a way to shift risk. It's all about balancing risks out there. You have a big risk budget.
So as you get older, balancing risk is the key.
Right.
Because you don't have that long
If you've got
ride.
15, 20 years, you can assume risk with that asset.
Yeah.
If you're going to start drawing on it in 5 or 6 years, you want to shift the risk or reduce the risk because they call it sequence of returns risk. If things go up and down too much, you're not necessarily going to get the results you want out of it.
Yeah. And we've been having a lot of up and down. It's been crazy. I mean, just on for example, like the Apple thing, right? It went from, we were averaging, I think it was like $278.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it went on like 243.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of it, he goes, oh, by the way, I sold all my Apple stuff.
No, so like
what?
Back in the day when it would swing like that with Apple, I'm looking at it and going like, I got 15, 20, 30 years before I got to worry about this.
Yep.
And now when it swings like this, I'm like, well, shit, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Is it going to go all the way down and then I can't take it out? I'm like, so it is a different perspective as you get older.
Yeah, that's where diversification matters.
Yeah.
I mean, people love to be focused on one or two names. Like I have a friend who he used to work for Amazon. He owns all Amazon stock and Bitcoin, and that's it.
Ooh.
Wow.
He's had better weeks than last week.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
that's
so
Well, Bitcoin's back up to like 70 grand.
yeah,
Yeah, but it
it
came
was
up
at
from
120 not too long ago.
Was it 120?
Yeah, in the
Oh, wow.
last summer maybe. So been a big decline, and then Amazon stock went down, call it 20% in the last little while.
Wow.
So yeah, but
and it's nothing to do even with the company sometimes. It's the climate,
Yeah.
right? that
it's
you're in.
the macro investing climate in general. And so, company specific, Amazon had a what they considered a bad earnings number. They're spending a lot more on the AI build out, but you're going to hear that a lot. We've heard that a lot in the last week. And it's an investment in the future of productivity. We'll see what it means for jobs in America, but it's productivity for the companies. So it should lead to profits down the line.
Well, I had a friend who worked at Amazon, and when we talked to him about it, it sounds like just the most high stress place to work in the world. Because he said, you go to the job and they go, well, we're expecting you to be here about a year, maybe 2
Oh,
years.
really?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they pay
and then-
you well though.
Yeah, they pay you really
Yeah.
well, but you're out of a job in a year to 2 years.
Yeah.
They're just they're just either you're gonna slough off just naturally because you'll find something else, or they just can you.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that's a crazy way to live.
Or
if
they
you've
hammer
got
you
kids.
with responsibility.
Yeah.
right?
I don't know,
And-
Yeah.
man. Would I take the money though, knowing that that's the best paid job and I'm unlimited like 3 years?
I talked to my friend on Super Bowl Sunday. He's moving. His wife left the job, is going to NVIDIA, work at NVIDIA in
Oh, nice.
Santa Clara. So they're moving from the East Bay to the South Bay.
Whoa.
So he's going from he may not see us, I don't know, $1.6 million house to like a $2.4 million house.
Wow.
And so I'm helping him figure out how to fund it and all that. And, he's making a good living in Amazon, but he pays the price. He flies all over the world doing presentations on AI, and he's like Uncle Dad to his son,
Did you guys see?
That's
did,
rough, man.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see that Claude bot thing over the last week?
No, what is that?
All right, so there's a open source AI thing that some guy in Europe invented or something. It's called Claude, CLAWD. So it's like a Siri, but it runs off. You just install it onto your computer, and it'll run off the computer. Okay, and people, it's too, for me, it's too like non-secure because you give it all your passwords and stuff, and then it can, once it has your passwords, it can use any of your programs and
That
things like
sounds
that.
bad.
But there's this video of this guy. He gave Claudebot his access to his stuff, and then he went to sleep. And in the morning, he's like working at his computer, and his phone rings, and it's the Claudebot, and it's like, "Hey, Devin, I ran out of tasks, so I don't know if you need me to do anything for you today." And I start talking to him, and he's just like, "Oh my god!" So he's like, Can you open up YouTube and research, and its screen opens up and it just starts going. It's insane what's coming.
And you can't just erase that. It's even if you unsubscribe, it still has everything.
Well, basically, you it's on whatever you put it. So people are buying like Mac Minis and just putting it on the Mac Mini so that it's kind of contained there.
Universe, yeah.
But it's wild.
That sounds spooky, man.
Yeah.
I think we're old enough where
we've seen enough movies.
We like the
exactly.
We've seen enough movies and we've done enough things where we go, I like to have some control over things.
Yeah.
And that feels a lot like, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I watched over the weekend? That was scary. You guys should rewatch it. It's Ex Machina.
I remember that one.
Holy
I love that movie.
moly. I saw it pop up on Netflix and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And I saw it. I was more scared watching it the second time around.
And this got to be like 15 years old, but it probably feels really
but
real
when
right
it's
now.
The stuff that it talks about is so relative to today that when I saw it back then, I was like, that's not going to happen every time in my lifetime. Like,
And now
it's
the
so
bots
relevant
actually
now.
look like that. So
It's here. I mean, it's exciting. I think I use like ChatGPT for research, and it's a good first cut. It's like a much more enhanced Google search. You can do a lot more deep dive, and you can talk in more of a natural language and get the results you want. But the integration of it, I think it's we're at a weird place for that for our generation, right?
So,
the younger kids probably find.
I'll ask you this question because I asked these guys the question before, but I watched the interview with Elon Musk talking about AI and how it's going to take over a lot of jobs and stuff and do a lot of stuff that people don't want to do anyway. And he said the best result that can come out of this, the best scenario from this storyline would be that everybody would get universal income, but it won't be universal income. It'll be universal high income, where you can afford to do whatever you want, travel, do everything you talked about, saving for retirement that we want to do.
To me about it.
And
Talk to me about it.
Is in your looking at it, is that something that could actually you believe it could happen someday?
I think it's a logical destination, but when you're 38 trillion in the hole, tacking on 2 trillion in debt a year. So the president yesterday said he expects or hopes for, it's hard to understand exactly what he said, but he's looking for 15% GDP growth this year. 15% nominal GDP growth. So the reason that's important,
just for context, average GDP growth a year is like 3 to 4%.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. Some estimates, like Julian, I forgot his last name, not Edelman, that's wide receiver. Julian, it begins with E, from Evercore. He said he expects maybe 7.1% nominal GDP growth. Real GDP growth, you take out inflation, so probably tracking around like 3-4%, right? If we get to 15% GDP growth, that means our economy is growing at such a dynamic rate, it makes our debt more serviceable. If we are doing 2 trillion in debt, but we have all these tax revenues from all this massive growth, it makes it easier. But other than that, if we don't get that debt situation right, how do you write a check to every American for universal high income, let alone universal basic income, which is from an election cycle or two ago?
The universal high income is a little even I can't really wrap my head around it, but that's a little futuristic, I think.
Futuristic or unrealistic?
Well, futuristic in the sense that the idea is basically like, okay, so first I was talking in a car with them, and the first thing is anything that doesn't move atoms, AI is going to be able to do. So anything digital, right? It'll just be able to do it for you. But then once the robots come, now the robots have the AI plus they can move atoms, then you're getting into a future of like, okay, I want whatever. Well, my robot's just going to make it for me.
Yeah, so it'll be more like not universal high income. It'll just be replaced income. Right. So you have more free time to do
I had this conversation with my Fortnite
Yeah.
friends the other day because I was talking about how it would be great to have robots that could sit our listings because if people go to the house, you could just open the door for people, let them in, and then, but also when there's nobody there, they could be cleaning the house and keeping the house in order and stuff like that. And then my friend's like, the robots could just be building a new house. You just buy land and just like, they just build a house for you. And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. So there's like all these things that the robots may be able to do in the future, like for you, but
they're already 3D printing houses, modular homes,
So
imagine it doing it for you, right? While you're playing Fortnite and enjoying your life.
Right. So the whole idea is that, if you
places
need whatever,
that-
it'll
yeah.
just go get it or
It's almost
make
like
it. Or,
Wall-E, where we're sitting around this
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
pod.
just
and
fat guys.
You got like a feeding tube, and you're locked in. You're in the Bahamas because your voice.
Right, right.
You're in the suit that makes you feel like you're in the Bahamas.
But I hesitate on that one only because I think as humans, we need to be able to have something to do that gives our life worth. Because if you don't, and money just comes to you or things just come to you, it's too easy to go.
But
whatever.
Dev, us guys can appreciate that.
Yeah.
We've been through struggle. We know what it's like to earn things.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that you're talking about is your kids.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part. But I don't have kids, so I don't care. I just want to enjoy life, really. So hurry up and bring it.
No, but I mean, but seriously, like people, and I've heard about this on, but like they talk about it happening on the Indian reservations, because the reservations make so much money off the casinos, right? Everybody gets a check for like 40 grand every month.
Work.
So none of them work, but they have the highest incidence of alcoholism, of drug use, because they don't have to do anything.
There's no sense of purpose.
Yeah, and there's no sense of purpose.
And
so for me, if it even means just telling my son, can you go pick up the dog shit, please?
Yeah.
That's something that he's got to go do. But for us, even like the old guys, right? I've seen so many people who retire, and then you see them working at Home Depot, and you go, "Why are you at Home Depot?" And they go, "Cause I was just sitting around the house writing my brain, and I'm not
purpose."
Yeah, you lose that purpose, that thing to do. And
I think Elon talked about this too, because when they're asking about how do you feel like you have self-worth if this thing comes to you, and he said, maybe I'm paraphrasing because I don't know what exactly he said, but he said that like. You can just look at it as, what is your life? What was your life? Why are you here on this earth? What is your life for? Is it to work until you old and then not enjoy it later on when you're old?
Right.
So he said, flip the switch. What do you want to do? Do you want to learn to play music? Do you want to travel? What brings you joy? And if this thing can replace it and bring you joy, then what's the harm in it?
I think that the hard part is there's going to be a contingent of people. There's two contingents of people, and unfortunately the larger contingent will be the people who just don't do anything, and
like you playing Fortnite with all the money you have. Yeah.
And then there'll be a small contingent of people who will be like, okay, I have these robots now, so now I can go they're self-motivated, right?
It frees them up to do something more creative or inspirational or contribute.
It's an 80-20 thing. It basically, even in my business, they say that 20% of the agents do 80% of the business, that's just how, for some reason, how things just work out, So I think there'll be a contingent of people who will take the advantage of having less time spent on mundane things and really push their lives forward. And there'll be a larger swath of people who will just enjoy doing nothing.
Like for me, I like my job. Like I like being creative and
You're
designing.
good at your job, that's why.
But I would do it for free if somebody just said, you don't need to worry about money anymore.
Yeah.
And because I have joy from it. So you like one logo, I'll do a logo for you. I'm not going to charge you. I get money coming in every month. So I don't see it being something damaging for me. You know what I mean? If this happens.
Yeah.
It would make you happy. It would make me happy. It would make everybody else happy that I can.
Damage will be your competitors because you're here because you're doing it for free.
Yeah.
But they might charge for it. They're not going to charge for it anymore because, if you're willing to do it for free, it changes that economic system. The downstream of that is kind of broad.
And then they're going to be mad at you and they say, freaking Kyle, he's doing all this shit for free and we normally get paid.
But look how old I am already. I'm in competition for a number of years. You know what I mean?
It's true, yeah.
Okay.
And I worked my way to this position.
Yeah.
By being this old and being in it for so long,
And you deserve it. Like I just met with a gentleman retiring this Saturday, I guess, from ESPN, Honolulu here.
Wow.
And he is going to go back. He was been working full time. He's going to retire, then go back and be a 1099 contractor. Basically, still do the same job, but work on his terms, not the company's.
Exactly.
So, and that's kind of where I see retirement evolving to, because you need a purpose. You need a through line. My father-in-law worked for the state of Hawaii for close to 40 years. And after he retired and traveled a little bit, he was kind of depressed. We had to build him like a regiment. to Monday through Friday. This is what he does.
Yeah.
And
Get the honey-do list going.
yeah, whatever it is. He, now it includes taking a nap on the couch in the afternoon. But hey,
He has my schedule.
Yeah, I love it.
You only can fish for so much in a week, before you go, I'm tired of fishing. So you got to figure out something constructive. But that doesn't necessarily have to come with pay. If they can figure out that problem.
Yeah,
I'll give you lots of stuff to do. I won't pay you for any of it.
Problem solved. All right.
I got you covered.
Doing a shit ton of Seahawk stuff.
Maybe the robot people will help out non-robot people. That'll be the
robot people will help out non-robot people.
Because not everyone's going to get a robot off the bat. But like, what if you have a robot do everything? Then it's like, Devon don't have a robot, so let's go to his house and help him with his stuff.
I know for a fact you would let him do that. Your robot, though. That's
that
true.
didn't sound right.
No. I would go help
Devon
Devon
jumped to
and
the-
let
I
Devon
know,
do
like
all my
me
robots
doing
taking
robots.
care
I
of
don't know.
Oh no, you wouldn't. You just tell your robot on your day off, go Devon's house and clean his house.
stuff. Yeah, probably.
My wife wouldn't let that happen. She don't want people in the house. Didn't even matter if
not
it's a
a person,
robot.
it's
He's
a
like,
robot.
I guarantee there's cameras and it's John watching our house.
No, so I'm wondering,
Okay.
like, how much are things going to change within the next 10 years where this conversation that we're talking about would not even be relevant? Or will it always be relevant?
No, I think that we're on the precipice of a lot of change. And I hope society, to your point, John, I hope society can handle that, right? If you have that 80-20 split, how do we as people keep connected? You're already seeing it. I mean, politically, countries pulled apart. A lot of stratification within societies, like here on island, right? A lot of people don't talk to other people as much. Yeah, how do we keep that connection with all that evolution? It's gonna be real hard for us.
It's been interesting. I've noticed a lot more stories now where the younger generation is getting into having these quiet time cafes, right? And they sit and they listen to vinyl and they get off their phones and I'm thinking, where the hell are these places? Because we don't have those around here.
But is that 20% and the other 80% are sitting on at someplace eating, looking at their phones?
There's a wonderful book by Jonathan Haidt called The Anxious Generation, and it's all about kids these days. And he's the one that started the trend of phone lockers, either RFID bags or phone lockers at schools. And you've seen it across New York, California, here. And it really makes a difference with engagement for these kids. Because otherwise it's constantly the dopamine effect of getting the notifications. Oh, I gotta check it. It's a hard way to live. We didn't have that when we were kids.
No, we got slapped in the head.
Spitball or something.
People took our spoon. I had one question too regarding how the economy has been going, or not the economy, but the Dow Jones and all that stuff. Right? People place so much. I don't know if value is the correct word, but both political parties like to take ownership of what is happening with the Dow out of what is happening with certain stocks and stuff like that. And it seems to me really doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with the rich people going, okay, we want this to, so the Dow being up above 50,000 points, right? People are like, whoa, look at this. Look at what the Republicans have done. And you go, it has actually nothing to do with that.
Very little.
The money doesn't care what party you are, right?
Well, so I try not to post too much on Facebook, but every once in a while I see something and I jump on a comment or whatnot, and this lady's like, to have people look at their 401ks under Trump. I'm like, hey, lady, Biden, they were pretty good too, right? I mean, that's just reality of math, know, but it has very little to do. Like tax policy matters a little bit. The Federal Reserve interest rates matters a little bit, moving, mortgage rates around, things like that. So there is something marginal, but usually it's productivity of the American worker and the ability of the American consumer. And that's been pretty good, here in America. And now, like last year, emerging markets were up over 30%. International was up about the same. The rest of the world is kind of catching up. And our dollar's been weak, except for Japan. It's still strong against the yen, but the dollar's been weak. And so you're starting to see a lot of different business happen elsewhere. Outside the U.S. And
we've been experiencing that, I think, in just the film community, right? Where we used to shoot a lot of stuff for Hawaii, in Hawaii, right? And now you watch The Wrecking Crew. And they're in Chinatown shooting something, and then they go to Dave Bautista's house, and that is New Zealand. There is absolutely no way that is Hawaii. But they're passing it off as Hawaii. And people who live here go, that ain't over here. But nobody notices the difference. Right. And because they're giving so much money to these, or so many tax breaks to these places that they can do this.
And in actuality, that movie was a good movie. And I don't think any locals complained by not... Like, I ain't going to watch this. This is not in Hawaii. And they say so. No, it was an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
And it really didn't matter to the masses whether it was filmed here or not.
But what I'm finding is my friends who have jobs here, right, do not have those jobs now. Yeah. And you know, Jason Momoa, God bless his heart. Yeah. I mean, he tries to shoot as much stuff here as he can. Yeah. But even Chief of War,
hire locals.
But even Chief of War, which was a story set in Hawaii about Hawaii chiefs and that system, a lot of it was shot in New Zealand. And you go, wait.
But that's a state thing.
Well, it's a state thing, but it's an economy thing.
It's a tax trade-off thing.
Yeah,
right? They get tax credits to the point where, you know, and we saw this in California as well. I had dinner with friends.
Yeah, California's having the same issue, right?
Same thing. You know, they all go to Georgia, or they go to Canada, or they go to New Zealand because it's more affordable, and they get all these tax credits back. And it all comes out in the wash, I feel like, because all the talent is either here in Hawaii or in California and the like. But they can get on a plane, and equipment can move, and that's where, you know, a lot of the powers that be need to, you know, think responsibly about the downstream. I mean, I think about the other thing here besides film is tourism, right? Is huge, and I was at the Sony Open a couple weeks ago. First time, it was fun. Could be the last time, right? Because the contract is up. Yeah, I knew the contract was going to be up 2 years ago. I'd heard about it. I'm sure Governor Green knew about that, but may or may not happen. They canceled the Kapalua because of the drought, and then they cancel that. It's you know, if the PGA abandons Hawaii because of, you know, fiscal policy, then it's a problem, right, for our economy. And we'll see where it gets us. Hopefully they can keep it moving.
I mean, we already lost the Pro Bowl. I mean, we won't have a stadium if
they turned it into a flag football game now. I'm not so sure.
Dude, I didn't even realize. I knew the game was happening. Yeah, the game was happening.
It was on like Thursday afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it was weird. It just kind of like,
I was trying to watch it. I couldn't watch it, and I finally went,
I mean, I guess it was always a flag football game because they never tackled each other anyway. But it's official now.
Wow, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. And then, you know, what's his name? Shadur Sanders was the quarterback from the Cleveland Browns, and they put him to the Pro Bowl, and everybody went, what?
Well, he's the crowd draw, that's why.
Well,
everybody else respectfully declined an invite, maybe.
I know.
Yeah.
He could have brought in somebody from New York, I'm just saying.
I stopped watching when they did it before the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Oh, instead of after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, couple questions. Couple last questions.
Sure.
So you are a book person, read a lot of books. Can you give us one or two great motivational, inspirational books?
Well, he gave one.
Wow, The Anxious Generation is non-motivational. It's a good book. It's worth reading if you're a parent, but it's terrifying in its own way for social media. But inspirational books, oh geez. I'm just reading,
or like good financial.
I'm reading 1929 right now by Andrew Ross Sorkin. He's on CNBC. It's about the crash of 1929, and he's not subtle about it. In his research, he draws a lot of parallels to where we are now. Right? Wow. You know, we've had a huge run up, a lot of enthusiasm, and a lot of it's warranted for all the reasons we talked about. But you know, like the PE multiple keeps rising. You know, our valuations relative to our earnings are growing faster. Earnings are growing, valuations are growing faster. All it takes is a catalyst or two, like they had back then, to turn things south. And you know, the crazy statistic is, with the exception of, you know, Trump mentioned that 15% GDP, which is what he wants. If we were to get that, you know how exceptional it would be? The only time we've ever had that, except for right after COVID and that snapback period, was 1950. After what? World War II. Mm-hmm. You know, I really hope we don't go through a World War III to generate the investment infrastructure. Not a trade-off I'm shooting for here. You know, so I'm reading that book right now. That one's fun. Well, not fun, but it's interesting. It's relevant.
I was gonna say, that's motivational?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you know, motivational books. I'll have to.
What about like Atomic Habits or one of those maybe?
What was your motivational book?
Well, I would say Atomic Habits. There's this guy. He wrote the Psychology of Money.
Oh, Morgan Housel.
Morgan Housel.
That's a good book.
That's one of my favorite books on money. It's very easy to understand, and he thinks kind of like me, which is like very low risk. And trying to just live a life that's manageable, not too chaotic with money, you know? Well, my First book that really got me hooked was the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover, which is a good
You
book.
gave me that book, actually.
I used to give
7 baby steps are things people should really think about for Dave Ramsey.
He's a little simple but very easy to understand, and especially someone who's hasn't had the financial education or whatever when you're young. It's a good baseline, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients read that to get through the debt management and start saving, and then you can build a legacy later. But hopefully that's a problem people have.
And then the Atomic Habits is great, which the basic premise of the book is that just little adjustments every day can lead to big results in the long term, right?
Yeah, I think it's all about being intentional with your activity, because we're in such a weird society now. There's so many things happening to us. We're very reactive. Like, being intentional about the things you do can have a positive ripple effect if you just take ownership of it a little bit.
Yeah, and systems will win every time. Because, you have all these, we talked a lot about fluctuations in the market and, 1929, all this stuff. If you just were consistent through all these time periods with your investing, you would have been fine. Yeah. Right? So.
You know what was my favorite book?
What's your favorite book?
Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing. No, not that. I based my entire...
Say, what goosebumps episode?
I based my entire brand on reading Malcolm Gladwell.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's great.
I've gone through all his books.
Blink.
Yeah.
Blink was the first
Tipping
one, right?
Point.
Tipping Point.
Yeah.
Tipping Point was the first one.
What
After
about
I read
the
that
dog
book,
song?
I'm like,
Yeah,
I used that as a roadmap. And that thing really helped me.
Yeah. Outliers is a fun one too.
Yeah.
That's the 10,000 hour one, right?
Yep, exactly. He talks about the Canadian hockey team to start and all that.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, we've come to the point of the podcast. We're asking our last question. It is a music question. We are on a music channel.
Yep.
And that is, if you were stranded on a desert island for all of eternity and could only take 3 albums to listen to for the rest of time, what would those 3 albums be? And this will be interesting coming from an East Coaster.
Yeah.
It's a lot
I know
of
one that he's gonna say
Bruce
already.
Springsteen.
Bon Jovi.
For Bon Jovi.
Depends where he lives.
Yeah.
So, big Metallica guy. Metallica Black Album. They may play the Sphere. I'm going to Vegas this weekend to see Backstreet Boys. But I'm not going to see Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
No, my wife is going to see Backstreet Boys. I'm not spending $600 on tickets to that. So I'll be at a sports book in Vegas if you're looking for me. Well, she's at Backstreet Boys.
There you go.
But
I would go to see Backstreet Boys, to be honest.
Well,
They put on a good show.
Metallica should be going to the Sphere this winter. So, yeah. So, Metallica, Black Album, I can listen to on repeat. AC/DC, I like.
Any particular album by is it? Like the Bon Scott stuff or the Brian Johnson stuff?
No, the what's his name? Scott. What is it?
Bon Scott?
Bon Scott. Yeah.
Up until
the
like
Dirty
Highway to
Deeds
Hell,
days.
like
Yeah,
Highway to
Dirty
Hell,
Deeds.
Dirty
Yeah,
Deeds. Okay.
exactly.
Or the more grimy.
Yeah, I like that. My son likes it too. That's what we listened to when we had Cocoa Head.
You're kidding me.
So one lady yelled at me for. I'm like, hey, come on, I need to keep him motivated. And then for me, I love the Green. So local here.
Oh, okay.
So
where's Bad Religion in this? We were just
Bad Religion was great. That was a great show. But those would probably be my top 3 albums. To dial it up or dial it down a little bit.
Nice.
All right. Well, Ian, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And, of course, we'll put your information in the links or whatever if people want to reach out to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.